From D.C. to Richmond's Capitol Square, lawmakers know Rich Herrera is watching.
This is Richmond's Morning News with Rich Herrera on News Radio WRVA.
Oh, you better believe I'm watching. I'm watching each and every one of you, Capitol Square, D.C., all over. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Richmond's Morning News, 6:33 on this Wednesday, May 6th. Did you see the story that yesterday we're announcing we're bringing back the presidential physical fitness test, and they'll get an award? Super Dave and I were the type of kids that didn't win the award, did we?
No, I never did. And didn't you get like a certificate?
A certificate, right.
And a patch or something.
And a patch.
I never came close to either.
My school, my junior high, we had uniforms for PE. So there were a reversible shirt. One was yellow, the other side was blue, turn it inside out. We had plain blue shorts, and then we had physical fitness tests, and we got stars that your mom had to sew on your shorts on how you did in the physical fitness test. Remember, it was a mile run, it was sit-ups, it was push-ups, it was a shuttle run, and then a sit and reach where you sat against the wall and had to keep your hands out. And the higher you got, the better star you got. The ultimate star was a gold star, the one on your shorts. I was a red star. I was nowhere close to a gold star, but I still got to be a student leader. But back in 2013, the Obama administration got rid of it. They said that, well, it's too difficult for kids. So I want to fast forward a decade plus to ask, was it better? Way back then, they argued that it was too stressful for kids. It was too much anxiety for kids. We're asking too much of kids, and it just made them very uncomfortable. So let's get rid of it. We used to tell kids, you know what? Life is tough. You got to work harder. Now we tell kids, if something makes you uncomfortable, maybe it's the standard that's the problem, not you. Maybe it's the test that's the problem, not you. And look where it's gotten us. We've got kids that don't participate in anything physically unless it's organized by a parent. Nobody ever goes out, rides their bike, runs around. They sit inside all day playing video games. They're on their screens nonstop. They wear pajamas to school, for gosh sakes. And adults are terrified that the physical fitness test might hurt somebody's feelings. All right, so let's fast forward a decade. What's happened since we've gotten rid of the physical fitness test? It was about teaching kids that effort matters. That's all sports are. It's about telling kids effort. You got to try. You're not always going to succeed. Can you get better if you're not great right off the get-go? Can you push yourself a little bit harder? Can you deal with not being great at something immediately and putting in work to try to overcome things, to try to achieve, to try to get better? I didn't pass every part of the physical fitness test. I was really good at push-ups. I was really good at the sit-ups, the bar dips. I was off lat, and the running I was off lat. But I knew I had to work harder to try to achieve something, and that was the point. There were standards, and the standards weren't going to be lowered for me. I had to raise myself to the standards of the physical fitness test. So what's happened since we stopped teaching that resilience with our kids? Dave, how many kids do you see walking around wearing pajamas, flabby, doughy, out of shape? You see them in the middle of the day, they're wearing big oversized sweatshirts, slippers, and pajamas, because what we've said is you don't have to raise yourself to the standards of the rest of us. You could we'll lower the standards so you could wear pajamas to school every day. Maybe that's where we're going wrong.
That could be. I see maybe 70%
of kids. Well, it's ridiculous.
And I was never a big fan of the presidential fitness thing, just because I was never good at it, and I'd rather play dodgeball than have to run a mile or something.
No, we got rid of dodgeball because it hurt people's feelings.
Well, yeah, that's the whole part of dodgeball. That was the fun part of dodgeball. It's because you got somebody got pummeled.
But what dodgeball did was it taught you to be resilient. Yes, you're going to get hit with the ball. Yes, life is tough. Yes, you're going to get hit, but you got to get back up, and you've got to face those things.
Well, one of the other things is, at least for a while, and maybe it's changed now, but physical fitness or the phys ed classes were required when we were in school. Now, or for a while anyway, they weren't
They're not
required at all
anymore. You
anymore.
don't have to take
You
phys
can
ed
take like
anymore.
art class or something
You can
instead.
take bowling. It started with you could take bowling, then you could take art class. Now it's just an elective that you don't have to. And have you noticed how soft kids have gotten these days? Like I sound like that old man, get off my lawn. But I really want to hear from people this morning. The James River Air text line, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. On the James River Air text line, we read the best text messages at 6:55, 7:55, 8:55. Right now it's 8:39, so we'll get to them in just a moment. But what we said was, let's take the kids out of competition because it harms them emotionally. Let's not have kids be put under duress. Let's not have kids feel pressure. Instead of teaching kids pressure is a privilege, pressure is a privilege. If you're achieving something, there's pressure on you. If you're not achieving anything and you've got nothing going for you, then there's no pressure. And we've taken pressure and made it to be something completely awful instead of showing kids that's really how life is. That's why we've got 30-year-olds that are still on their mom and dad's cell phone plan. That's why you have 35-year-olds that are still living with mom and dad. That's why we have a mayor in Seattle who is all about socialism, and her mom and dad still pays part of her bills. That's why we have all these kids that are thinking all these things are owed to them because we've never taught them how to compete, how to fight, and more importantly, how to get knocked down and get back up. So what's been the result? Here's what I'll tell you. Have you ever seen a group of kids, another generation, that's more anxious, less confident, and less capable of handling setbacks than we have in America today? I had my son play sports. I'll be honest. He inherited his father's athletic ability, which is next to nothing. And I knew that going in. But what I wanted him to do is I wanted him to learn how to compete. I wanted him to learn how to fight. And more than anything else, I wanted him to learn how to lose. Now, a lot of people are like, what do you mean? You want your kid to lose? Yeah. In the day and age of trophies and participation ribbons, I wanted Rigney to learn how to lose, Super Dave. Does that sound weird?
No, well, losing is part of life.
And we don't do that anymore. If you've got grandkids right now and you're listening to us, how many times have you seen your grandkids just faceplant and fail? Not very often, because mom and dad run and grab them so they don't fall down and they don't fail. But I will tell you this, as the father of a 25-year-old, I'm so glad he's had so many failures in his life. Now, that sounds weird. But every time he fails, he picks himself up, he learns how to dust himself off, and he gets back in the fight, and his confidence grows. You don't get confidence from winning everything. You get confidence from knowing that you can overcome obstacles. And that's what life really is. It comes from overcoming those obstacles. So that's what this is really about. The presidential physical fitness test that Dwight Eisenhower said the kids are getting soft. He knew something about it. He had been in battle. He was a Supreme Allied Commander, and he saw kids getting soft as the baby boomers were coming up. Like, these guys don't have anything to challenge them. They have it so easy. Let's give them something and give them a challenge. We have so much in this country that's great. We have so much in this country that is bountiful. These kids aren't working hard because they don't know what it's like to have to overcome things and having your backs against the wall. So he started the physical fitness test. And he said, fine, we're going to put duress. We're going to make these kids grind. We're going to make these kids work. We're going to make these kids get after it. And we're going to show them how to achieve. And we're also going to teach them how to overcome failure. It wasn't about fitness. It was about resilience. And what's the one thing I could say about this next generation that we have hitting high schools right now and junior highs? How much resilience do your kids and your grandkids really have right now? Answer that question for me. It's 6:42 this morning here on Richmond's Morning News as you're getting ready to get up, probably going to grab your keys and hit the door. How many of the kids of this generation, of Gen Z or Gen Alpha, the ones that come after them, how many of them do you see have any resilience? The Wi-Fi goes down in the house and they panic. They don't know what to do. They get an extra test and they freak out. How many of these kids have nothing but anxiety because they don't know how to overcome challenges and they don't know how to overcome failure? Helicopter parents, tiger moms, and all of that have done everything for these kids. And when they get out there just a little bit on their own, do they know how to handle failure? Do they know how to overcome things and achieve? maybe that's something that we should start reintroducing into the schools. Because a child who never learns how to fail becomes an adult who falls apart the first time life says no to them. How many kids do you know have graduated from college and say, I can't find a job? Well, today, what about tomorrow? How many people have given up on trying to find a job? I can't find the job I want. You're not going to find the job you want right off the get-go. You've got to earn your way up the ladder. But so many kids have been handed everything. They go, I graduated. I've got $250,000 in college loans, and I can't find a job that pays me $5 million a year. I'm just going to give up and stay at home with mom and dad. Maybe if they would have taken the presidential physical fitness test, they'd learn how to overcome obstacles and achieve something. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140 is the number for you to join us here at 644 on News Radio WRVA. What do you think? I'm glad I took the physical fitness test, and more than anything else, I'm glad and grateful that I failed and I had to work harder to achieve something that taught me how to compete. And maybe that's what we need a little bit more of in this country right now. Today's program brought to you in part by Men's Wellness Centers. All right. You're used to competing, and you're used to having everything that you need to compete. Strength, agility, mental focus, clarity, confidence. But when you hit that wall, when you hit about 40, a lot of those tools that you have just go away. It's life. It's going to happen. But you don't have to just sit back and become a little old man. You could do something about it. That's what I did. I called Men's Wellness Center. 1-800-410-3577, 1-800-410-3577. 3 locations, Glen Allen, Virginia Beach, Newport News. You can find them online at menswellnesscenter.com. Sit down, have them take a look at what's going on, have them draw blood. They do lab work. They get back to you in one day and they tell you, listen, Rich, it's your testosterone. You could do something about it right now. When you get you in program and we get you back to where you were when you were in your 20s and 30s.